Merry meet and welcome to our stream, everybody. This is Ariel Gatoga, and we are streaming live on YouTube and on Twitch. This is a general reading for all signs for today, the 28th of November, 2023. Moderating on Twitch is the lovely Delene, and moderating on YouTube is the lovely Heather. Thank you so much, Delene. Thank you so much, Heather. And thank you to everybody for joining us today. This is the Crystal Tarot by Lo Scarabeo. And I'm going to purify with this Verbena by Monotheme. 3 sprays in this big room is more than sufficient. You can find information about purchasing these products in the video description of this video on my YouTube channel. And if you happen to be watching on a restream on YouTube and you don't want to watch me shuffle, you can just use the timestamps that are right in that video description to fast forward to the reading. This does go out to a lot of people, so if for some reason it doesn't seem to apply to you personally, it may not be meant for you. In that case, just disregard the reading and check out instead the zodiacal readings for your own individual sun sign, rising sign, and or moon sign. And you can find all of the restreams very easily for the most recent tarot readings on the website, ariels-corner.com, Ariel's Corner with a hyphen.com. Just click on the free online tarot readings link in the main menu. If you're watching us on YouTube, please make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell. And if you're watching on Twitch, make sure you follow us on Twitch. You can watch on Twitch without ads when you subscribe to us there. If you'd like to give us a donation and you're watching on YouTube, you could just use the super sticker or super chat. Or you could use the PayPal portal at paypal.me/arielgatoga. There's other donation options, like if you want to use a credit card or something, right on the website, ariels-corner.com, and you'll see that donate link right in the footer. We also have a shop at arielscornershop.com, arielscornershop.com. We have all kinds of tarot decks and other witchy woo listed there. Those are all affiliate links, which means that we just make a small commission off of each and every sale. It is a fun and easy way to give the channel some support, and we do appreciate your support. But that's not why we're here. We're here for you today to give you a general reading. And so let's do that right now. I'm going to give this deck a nice clean cut. We'll see what's in the cards for everybody today. November 28th, 2023. We've got the Ace of Wands, followed by Il Mondo, the world, and then Il Diavolo, the devil. I love it. Okay, sorry if this cloth is too busy to see what these cards say. I'll just bring them up a little closer as I talk about them. So let's start with the world card. The world card is, in the game of tarot, the winner. If you've got the world card, you take all the tricks. You get whatever. It's like the highest ranking card. Now, in some cases, the Fool might be higher rank, but that's determined at the beginning of the game. But in general, the World is the winning card. So, you are the winner today, and you have about you these 4 cherubs or archangels, or they're high angels, and they follow you wherever you go, and they're there to protect you. But they can't protect you unless you ask for it. They can't help you unless you ask for it, because otherwise it would be akin to an attack. You know that's true. When somebody, quote, helps you and you don't ask for the help, it's annoying. It's like, I didn't ask for you to help me. Leave me alone, right? So they're never going to do that. But the minute you ask for that help and you're sincere in that help, in that asking for help, they are there immediately to be for you, do for you, offer you every assistance that you could possibly need. And that's how the world is set up. The world is set up so that you are taken care of. And that's very prevalent today. So that you're not only taken care of, but you're safe and you're free and you have the winning hand, and it's about playing that hand. Now, when this happens, the ego mind likes to give us lots of diversions to consider, because the ego's main, I think the main thing that the ego likes to trade in is distraction, delay, and because it really doesn't have anything else to offer. I mean, it can't solve problems. The ego can't think creatively. The ego can't really do anything except for prove to us lies. Try to prove to us that we are separate from our good. And so when we start to get an idea that not only are we not separate from our good, but we are one with our good, and that it's up to us to express that and to be that, and to do what we will, and to have what we will, and to actually succeed in this life against all apparent odds, which is what this world card is giving you the indicator of. Then the ego's response to that is, well, we can't go up against the world. We can't go up against the truth, but what we can do is say, look at that shiny thing over there. Or aren't you scared of that thing over there? Right? That's one thing that the ego can do, is go boo and get you all scared about something. Or say, ooh, wouldn't it be better if you had this? Or what about that? And just to distract us from what it is that we truly desire. Right? The ego's not about giving you the means to achieve what you came here to achieve. The ego's here to distract you from all of that. Why? Because that's what we programmed it to do. It's a computer program. It's not an entity. There's nothing to be afraid of with the ego. The ego's not, it has no power, but it does have the ability to try to distract us from our power. And so that's what this devil card is all about, is chaining us, allowing us to feel that we are chaining ourselves to certain fears, to certain motivations, to certain ideas. Have you noticed that we do that? Sometimes it's like, well, no, I've already committed to that, so on some level, so I just better see it through. That's not always the best way to handle things. You might want to start questioning that if that's the case. Well, I've already, put so much time and effort into this losing proposition. I may as well see it through. That's insane, right? We cut our losses. We say, no, we're not going down those nowhere roads anymore. We're going to instead allow ourselves to wake up to what it is that we are here to do. And you know what you're here to do by your heart's desires. What do you want? You might want more money. You might want a better career. You might want better health. You might want a loving relationship. You might want a family. You might want kids. Those are wonderful things, right? Those are wonderful things to want. So what is it that you want? What makes your heart sing? And that's what you're here to achieve. And you have the winning hand, and you have the means and the ways to do all of those things. And not only that, but you have the creativity, which is what this Ace of Wands is all about, to carry it through. So don't listen to that ego mind, which is always going to be there. Well, as long as we're in 3D, as long as we are playing in this three-dimensional reality, the ego is always there to try to go up against it. There's always a protagonist and an antagonist in every story in this world. That's how this world is set up. But you don't need to listen to the antagonist. It only has the power over you if you decide to say, okay, and agree with it. It's the only power it has, is to try to get you to agree with it. So question everything today. Does it comport with my desire? Does it comport with what I want? Do I want that thing? Right? Now, it's true that we all have to do things that we don't necessarily want to do. We have to kind of go through some stuff. But what's your long-term goal here? So a lot of times we go through a lot of stuff to get to our long-term goal. Right? But the ego wants you to say, no, I don't even want you to think about your long-term goal. I want you to get very, very distracted. I want you to get super busy with something else. So be aware of that. Don't allow yourself to get busy with a bunch of stuff that has nothing to do with what you want. Instead, get busy doing, and having the winning hand, which you have today. Okay, so look at this beauty. We've got a Page of Cups, we've got an Ace of Swords, and we've got a King of Wands. So not only do you have the creative energy and will to see things through and to be and do what you want, but you have the expertise to back it all up. And the ego mind is trying to get that expertise really focused on stuff that doesn't matter. Or even worse, sometimes what that ego will do is try to convince you, oh, you don't really know what you think you know. You can't really do those things. You're not that good. You don't kid yourself, right? So listening to that, when in fact, if you just took an objective look at yourself, you'd say, well, that's ridiculous. Of course I know what I'm doing. Of course I have skill. Of course I have experience. Look at all that I've learned my whole life here. Look at all the skills that I have. Of course I have what it takes to get what I want. Now you have two aces, really big openings today. Very big day for beginnings and initiations. What do you want to initiate? Because you do have the winning hand and you do have those angels surrounding you, and you can move about your life freely without any fear. So what do you want to do with that today? How do you want to express yourself today? What do you want to start? What do you want to accomplish or to see accomplished in your life today? Because today's the day to really start on those things and to really get a head start on those things. Don't allow that ego to say, oh, no, that's scary. That's dangerous. You can't put out your desires. You can't put forth your desires, You can't put forth those intentions. What happens if you fail? What happens if somebody attacks you? What happens if somebody criticizes you? What happens if it all goes to nothing? What happens if you fail worse? What happens if things get worse and not better? That's the kind of stuff that the ego says, right? So let's be aware that the ego's there and just choose against it. Just make our choices based on, well, what do I want? Not what am I afraid I can't have? What do I want? This Page of Cups is saying today's a day of good news. Good news. The ego hates good news. The ego takes all good news and tries to spin it. The ego takes all good news and tries to spin it into some sort of narrative that is such a distortion and something that you're supposed to all of a sudden now feel bad about or guilty about or be afraid of. So be aware that the ego is all about distorting, all about distracting, all about delaying. That's what this is all about. Nothing to be afraid of, but something to stand up against. How do you stand up against the ego? By standing for your passion, by standing for your desires, by standing for the passions, the skills, and the fortitude that you know you have. We've all had those dreams, right, where we feel like we can't move and we can't run and there's something after us and we can't run and we can't move. That's what the ego loves to do to us, is to give us that feeling of paralysis, that we can't do what we want to do. We can't. We just don't have what it takes. That's how powerful the programming in that part of the human psyche is. And it only has power over us when we say yes to it. So what we want to do is we want to say yes instead to our passions, to our victories, to the good news, to those angels that surround us, to this winning hand, to all of our expertise, to all of the things that we know. When the ego tries to say, you can't do that, you can just tell yourself, yes, I can. You don't know enough to do that. Yes, I do. And what I don't know, infinite intelligence is going to give me, is going to teach me. I have all that I need to succeed right here, right now. I don't have to go do anything, get anything, change anything. I have what it takes, and I'm going to play my winning hand, and there's nothing my ego can do about it. Thank you so much for spending some time with me today. You're having a great day, it looks like. And thank you so much to the amazing moderators, Delene and Heather. We'll see everybody for another reading tomorrow. Blessed be.